Watson here, freelance writer, player of games, writer of words, reporter of videos, and tabletop role-playing aficionado. Welcome to the Thursday edition of my bi-weekly behind-the-scenes DM-only live stream, Crafting the Deep, in which I build, write, and prepare for our next session of Call from the Deep. It's August already. Holy shit. If you're playing characters Gottwald, Max Sabra, or Toro, the stream is not meant for you. We're full of spoilers, but for the rest of you, as always, welcome. We stream our D&D sessions live on YouTube every Friday. You can join our official Discord server with invite link in the description below. If you'd like to support the channel, please check out patreon.com/RogueWatson. For our campaign, we use Roll20. For streaming, I use OBS Studio. Welcome to August. It's about 105 degrees outside, I think, right now. Summer is here with a vengeance. Last time on Crafting the Deep, I think we finished building the map for Ironhead Cairn, rebuilding it. We have the technology, we can improve it. I'm still trying to figure out where I actually want to put it, because it's originally in Omen's Isle, which is right in the middle of the Moonshae Isles, which I don't want to do because I'm not doing like anything with the Moonshae Isles otherwise, and it feels like a little bit more out of the way, and I want to make sure it's decently convenient for the party to get to as their next stop, because that's the one I'm preparing. So I randomly chose Snowdown here, one of the isles on the outside, but now I'm thinking maybe I'll just put it on the southern tip of Alaron here, because I read that like the forests and areas are pretty wild, so maybe it's just like at the southern tip, just the tip down here, and then that's pretty obvious where the party can hit that one up first. I also unfortunately don't have a nice map annotation marker for it. Whoever, I downloaded this version of the map from Call from the Deep that had a lot of the kind of discoverable locations taken off the map and then given their own separate tokens that I can then add to the map as I need them, which I haven't used too much. Wreck the Golden Crown was one, and a lot of the stuff I've been using is honestly from Ghost of Saltmarsh, which I've been using sites that are already on here, like Mintarn and Orlumbor. I didn't actually put a site marker here. I just said, okay, the Swaggin Strongholds and Red Rocks. But I figured with Ironhead Cairn, I'm actually going to have to put a little marker on it somewhere. Nerino, I do have it, though, because... And the reason I don't have it for Ironhead Cairn is because it's just labeled as Omen's Isle in Call from the Deep. So I just kind of whipped up a little text one right there. And there's an exclamation point. So these are the two locations I'm using. And for now, we're prepping Ironhead Cairn as the first of the little side ventures they will go on to as they hunt down the pirate lords. So the first thing I did is whip up the actual entrance. I downloaded a map from Gabriel Picard. This one I think is from Standing Stones and Stonehenges or something along those lines. As a outer entrance to the location, because it does say when the characters first arrive at the cairn, the Fomorians are locked in combat with 3 Chuuls, which have been sent as a distraction by the Kraken Society. The Kraken Society members, led by the notorious Storm Maiden of Moray, access the cairn via a subterranean stream and are hoping to plunder its treasures. So I'm basically going to follow that. And I like the idea that this area is basically guarded by a bunch of Fomorians ruled by an Ettin, although I don't think they're going to end up interacting with the Ettin at all. I don't actually know how it would... It'd be fun if we had like a combat simulator where you could see... I wonder how 3 Chuuls would fare in a fight against 2 Fomorians. I love this token, by the way. The Fomorians look really nasty. I guess that's the official Fomorian artwork right there. I did grab it from the compendium. Fomorians are CR8, have about 150 hit points, and they can make 2 attacks with their Great Club at a +9 to hit, 15-foot reach, and an average 19 bludgeoning damage. And then they have this Curse of the Evil Eye they can use in place of 1 attack, which curses a creature with magical deformities. Basically, it works as a debuff, so pretty cool. Chuuls, we have seen before. They performed embarrassingly against the last boss fight the party had, so they do not fear the Chuuls. They are CR4, 100 hit points, and have pincher attacks and the ability to technically paralyze. So I don't know. I mean, a Fomorian would very easily be able to do about 40 damage in a turn. Chuuls would probably only do about 20 damage if they hit. Neither of these guys have super high AC. But the Chuuls do have a chance to grapple. Oh, is large or smaller? No, he can't grapple them. Oh, yeah, that actually makes Chuuls kind of shitty against them, doesn't it? The target is grappled. Escape DC 14 if it is a large or smaller creature and the Chuul doesn't have 2 other creatures grappled. And because they can't actually grapple the Fomorians, they can't also paralyze or poison them. So yeah, the Fomorians should be able to kick their ass. But the point isn't for the Chewels to try to defeat the Fomorians, it's just to distract them. So when the party arrives, they might be able to have some kind of cool little helping thing while also trying to interact with the Fomorians. I think that could be pretty fun. They can only speak Giant and Undercommon. I bet Gottwald might be able to speak Giant, though, as a Runic Knight. A Rune Knight. Look up that and see if they can do that. I think every creature should be able to speak Halting Common. I think I've come around on that. Yeah, Gottwald can speak Giant, so that'll work. That gives him a rare chance to actually be the social person of the group, I think. Let's see, Mac can speak a lot of languages, but none of them are Giant or Undercommon. I guess Rangers get a lot of languages. Savra as the wizard. It is the Stink Eye. Oh, Savra can speak Undercommon. That's interesting. I assumed they would speak Giant first, but that is interesting. And Twirl speaks like no languages. Common and Primordial. Alright, so if we wanted to, we could simulate some hit point loss here and there, but maybe I'll just run the combat encounter as is and just prove how powerful these creatures are in general. Yeah, I think so. I know, we're very close. We are almost gonna pass the meter on 7,000 subs. It should happen probably any day now, I think. Pretty cool. So, yeah, this is the entrance, and they won't really be able to learn much from the Fomorians, other than the fact that these creatures just suddenly attacked. The doors will still be closed, and I think the Fomorians don't actually go inside. Let's see if it says characters might visit Omen's Isle in search of the Cairn of Thelgar Ironhand. The Cairn is hidden in a forest. Most Norals know its exact location. Although the Cairn has not been breached by the giants. It is guarded day and night by 2 Fomorians. So maybe the Fomorians just feel that this is a very important site that they should honor and guard, but they don't go inside. I could also play with the fact that it's very tiny and they can't really fit inside either. So maybe they can feel like the magic coming from it, and thus they feel it's an area of importance. But they don't know the history behind this location or anything. So all they'll know is it's been attacked, and this is a resting place for a great power or something, they'll say. Inside, oh, and then shipwise, I guess I'll just play it like they can't really find a place to, I mean, it'd be like going to any islands. You know, they've been docking at various ports and cities, but this will be a situation where they just have to lay the anchor down, you know, far enough away from the island and take the rowboat to this location. So won't be any ship stuff here. All right, so this is, and just to show you all again, this is the original map here of Ironhand Cairn. The original map that came with Call from the Deep, very sketchy, black and white, not good for virtual tabletop. And then this is the 2.0 map that I have superimposed on top using a lot of Roll20 assets from Gabriel Picard, various marketplace things called like flooded tunnels, and I think like ruins, and I don't know, just all these different things. I will have to fix the dynamic lighting, but otherwise I think this is going to work. I've changed a few things like the shape of the water and some hallways and things. The idea here, though, is they go in, there's a little puzzle at the entrance where you're supposed to, I think, take one of these like wooden tokens that are being held by the statues. And if you, which is the opposite of what you're usually supposed to do, you're usually supposed to not steal from statues. That's like one of the biggest red flags in D&D. First of all, if you see 2 statues flanking the entrance of a hallway, that's a total red flag anyway. And then B, if you ever see a statue and try to steal from said statue, that's also typically a red flag. Not that that will stop parties, of course. So I like the fact that the first one is a red flag. There's a danger here. But the second one is you actually are supposed to take one of these wooden tokens randomly. And that will prevent the spike growth spell from being cast as you walk through this area, which spike growth's not that bad. You just take some damage as you walk along. The right room is some kind of crazy gas death trap, even though there's nothing actually in here. But maybe we can still get the party to waltz in here just to explore it. But basically, as soon as they kind of look around, Maybe I can put like some more statues in here or something. I feel like there should be something in these alcoves, but I don't think there's anything description-wise. This is L3, actually. It's just called Death Trap. The room is Death Trap. The chamber is in terrible condition. The flagstones of the floor are out of place and cracked in many areas. The white stone columns are blackened with soot, as are the alcoves on the north and south walls. So it's just empty and an explosion that happens. It's a complex trap where it happens in initiative order. So people get to roll dexterity, or people get to roll for initiative as soon as somebody, let's see, he's higher than the other flagstone. Notice the first flagstone of the chamber when approached from area I1 is raised higher than the others. First flagstone of the chamber when approached from area I1. You're not going to be able to approach from any... Oh, I guess if I kept the secret door there, you could approach from that side. Stepping on the flagstone triggers the trap, which acts on initiative 20. And it's initiative 20. Poisonous flammable gas fills the room from tiny holes in the columns. You know, the issue with these kind of traps is... Obviously, they're fun if you can get the whole party in it, but rarely is the entire party going to all shove into one room all at once. Usually you're going to have one person tentatively take a few steps inside, and then as a DM, I should trigger the trap, which is only going to catch possibly one person. So that's kind of a downer. So I wonder if there's some other way we can work with that. Maybe, and who knows, maybe more people will step inside, but that's... Maybe I should put the pressure plate like in the middle of the chamber, in other words, or somewhere deeper in so more people can come in. The passive perception score of 18 or higher. Notice a slight breeze coming from the eastern alcove. I'm getting rid of the secret door things. It doesn't really matter at all in terms of being able to secretly make your way into the water on this side, because this area down here is not trapped or dangerous in any way, and there's already another entrance on the left side, so it just doesn't seem... It doesn't seem much of a reward for surviving this death trap room just to find a secret door that technically goes nowhere and also has like other openings to go to. So I don't see a reason to include that. We could put treasure in here, but there's already going to be treasure at the southern tomb, and I need to put treasure, probably shift the treasure around in this room as well, which is trapped in a different way, which is a bunch of bad guys. Shrine to Tempest. Columns of white stone line the corridors of this chamber. At the end is a shrine of the same stone, atop which lies an enormous greatsword with a blood-red blade as wide as a man's palm. I'm going to be changing that because I think the ultimate good weapon you get here should be in the actual final tomb and not necessarily in this one to the side. So I may change that to something else I don't know about. What would be a cool Viking style item? He's supposedly buried with a folding boat, magical armor, adamantine scale mail, which we already have one of the players using adamantine armor. So it would kind of suck to just give somebody else adamantine armor, I feel like. But he's supposed to be buried with armor, the folding boat, and the sword. I'm also changing the sword a little bit. But I want to put probably the sword and armor, and maybe the boat, maybe all three of them in this final area down here, and then maybe just include something else here. Maybe some kind of supernatural charm. What is... Tempest is like... Who is Tempest? Let's look up Tempest. Does Roll20 have everything about Tempest? Tempest is in the Sword Coast Adventurers Guide. The war god, concerned with brave conduct during war. The god of war is random in his favors. Kinetic nature favors all sides equally. So he's Ares, which is the name of one of my dogs. He's the dog of war. Tempest's favor might be randomly distributed over the centuries as priests made an effort to spread and enforce a common code of warfare. This code cultivates honors purpose of making conflicts brief, decisive, and as safe as possible for those not directly involved. That's nice. Priests of Tempest teach that war conducted properly is fair, and that it oppresses all sides equally, and that any battle more might be slain or become a great leader among his other companions. Okay. So war is good, but not for wanton destruction, but for like honor, I guess, and prestige. It's a good god of war, which is odd. Hey, Captain Mike, also reflecting on the. I know, wouldn't it be fun if we're all here when the odometer switched over? Man, I just had our car that we bought not too long ago, really long time ago, but I work from home, so I don't drive too much. Um, just flipped over to like 10,000 miles and I missed it. I caught it when it was at like 9994 or something. And I made a mental note of be like, oh man, it'll be fun to watch that flip over. And then obviously it was probably like the next time I went out or something, it flipped over. And the next time I looked at it, it was like, 1014 or something. Like, damn it. I missed the stupid mundane moment that's still somewhat cool. Get them subs. Come on. I do need to switch out our ghostly berserker spirits for a better token. I wonder if we can find a good ghost looking spirit. Because one thing that's fun is if you use a stat block but use a different token for it, because it's very easy to meta knowledge the common tokens and be like, oh, that's the thug token. I know what to expect from this creature. I typed a ghost. I see if I can find anything that's looks like a ghostly warrior. It's a Ghost Knight Templar, but that looks like, oh, Bugbear Blood Ghost Berserker. That sounds fancy. They definitely look like bugbears though. This is that Monster Manual expanded art, which is really nice from the third one. Ooh, these are CR4. These are a lot stronger too. That'd be real good if they weren't bugbears. I guess they could be bugbears. I got nothing against bugbears, technically. 7,000 calories. Good lord. That's what is that about? What we eat in like 3 days or something? Although I do live in the US and I'm sure there are 7,000 calorie meals out there. Don't find. Maybe if I search Spirit Naga, Spirit Troll is pretty close. Storm Spirit sounds cool. Unfortunately, when I click on it, it doesn't really let me see. No, that's 2 elemental. Reaper Spirit does not have. Damn it, a lot of these don't have tokens anyway. Why do these official. Man. These don't actually have token art. That sucks. Celestial Spirit. I mean, I could just use Berserkers. That is a very naked angel. My goodness. Bone Naga Spirit. Albino Dwarf Spirit Warrior. Nope. What's another good keyword I can search to find a ghost? Shadow? Shadow has a lot of rules. Shadow Dancer. Shadow Demon. Tyrant Shadow. Shadow Boxer? Shadow Beast. Looks very cool. Shadow Ooze. Shadow Sturge. Shadow Spirit? No, that is crazy looking. See the summon shadow spawn spell. Okay. Shadow Lurker. It's a person with a top hat. Okay. Greater Shadow. Shadow Cloaker. Shadow Assassin at work. It's just a shadow though, isn't it? Wraith could be good. Yeah, like a Wraith or Revenant looking thing. Shadow Fistmaster. Tell me more about the Shadow Fistmaster. Oh, okay, just a ninja. Shadow Dragons, Greater Tyrant Shadow, Elder, Shadow Drake, Lesser Tyrant Shadow, Darrow Shadow Anti-Paladin. Shout out to our Empire of the Ghouls campaign. We fought against a bunch of those. Quite a bit of things have the word shadow in them. what I'm seeing. Hobgoblin, Iron Shadow, Assassin. I'm looking for ghostly, like, Viking-looking dudes. Like, incorporeal warriors. Yeah, I'm thinking, let's do Wraith. Fun fact, when Chris was visiting me and we played a bunch of board games, we played the Heroes of Might and Magic 3 board game, which took us hours and hours and hours. And he, as classic Chris does, he very pointedly kept mispronouncing one of the creatures on his army was a Wraith, and he literally always called it a Wrath, which, granted, still sounds cool. But I was constantly correcting him. I was like, dude. And he's like, I think I saw some ghost creature that had Wrath as a name, and I just imprinted that as the creature. I was like, oh, okay. and yes, he also that he was playing the Necropolis, and he built the Mausoleum, which, as those of you who played in Baldur's Gate 3 will recall, that he mispronounces that word. Honestly, just the Wraith isn't a bad one to use. It needed to. It'd be nice if it had a weapon. Flayed Wraith looks cool. That dude looks pissed off. that's not a bad one. We can maybe go with the Flayed Wraith. That's not a word I want to say. What is it? 5 times fast. Flayed Wraith, Flayed Wraith, Flayed Wraith, Flayed Wraith. All right, that's all right. Not as bad as I thought. Now, Sword Wraith Commander, I'm going to need down here. I think that's what the actual boss manifest says. So I can have that be kind of a boss fight. Yeah, CR8. Maybe summon him with some like skeletal companions, especially because his his actual one of his actions is to summon the Sword Wraith Warriors. I would just have that be like the thing he does when he starts combat. I'm not gonna have that be a whole action. So we're gonna need the Sword Wraith Commander. Skeletal Knight from Dragonlance could work. If they look ghostly enough. Another DM that actually stands crafting of their games. That's the only one I've found. Hey y'all. Hey Lazy DM. I've actually heard that. Well, I've heard that not a lot of folks do it this way. Sly Flourish, I think, does he stream or just record? I think he might stream. But that would be one I would recommend for sure. On YouTube, who does crafting. So I don't know if he uses, I forget if he uses Roll20 or not. I know his crafting streams are like, he's literally got like his notes thing open and like writing down notes and stuff, but he's a really good DM and does a lot of those kind of like prep videos. I don't believe he like streams or uploads games that he does though, but I do think he does crafting stuff. Look up Sly Flourish. Not so ghostly. Yeah, that's all right. Oh, we could just use the Sword Wraith Warriors, right? Because that's what his guy summons. It's the same. Is it really the same token? Sword Wraith Warrior versus the Commander? Yeah, I'm literally picturing the Skyrim dudes. CMG. Are there stat blocks for the Draugr in here? Wraith. Oh, that's like a underwater thing. Okay. What is... All right, hang on. Let me go back to the Sword Wraith. The Sword Wraith Commander, and then you summon Sword Wraith Warriors, which apparently is a stat block for Call from Netherdeep and from Mordenkainen's. Sword Wraith Warrior. Okay, that's very confusing. It's the same token, but they just like angled it differently. I may come up with a bespoke token for the actual Sword Wraith Commander then. Since it's supposed to be like that dude, Thelgar Ironhand, I think, actually fighting the party. Alright, so let's look up. Let's see if Draugr's in here. Boo! Alright. Skeletal. Even though this should be incorporeal, we can go skeletal. There's your skeletal knight. That's a very cool looking picture. That could, I mean, we're just looking at the token though. That could work. Boy, not a lot of creatures have literally just the word skeletal. I guess a lot more skeleton. I think we might have found one with the skeletal knight. I don't care about the actual... Yeah, stat block is 0-7. Jesus. Ooh, Phantom was another one I hadn't searched. That's a good one. Phantom Warrior. Let's try that one. Phantom Warrior from Curse of Strahd. Okay, okay. That's looking way more ghostly. Although one is often mistaken for a ghost, a Phantom Warrior isn't bound by a yearning to complete some unresolved goal. It can choose to end its undead existence at any time. I can stop doing this anytime I want. I just like being an undead ghost warrior. Yeah, I think we nailed it, Demnix. Or giant phantom fungus. It's got some real potential in there. So kind of an interesting stat block here. Might be more interesting than the Berserker Spirit? I don't know. Makes 2 attacks with its Spectral Longsword, which deals force damage. Doesn't really matter if we don't have a Barbarian in the team. Resistances, immunities. Okay, I may actually just straight up use this fucking stat block here. Because I was complaining the Berserker Spirits were kind of lame, right? The Berserker stat block, I guess, is the lame one. They just have a fuck ton of hit points and then 1 attack. This dude has far fewer hit points, a little bit more AC, has 2 attacks, and can technically go back between the ethereal plane and material plane. Etherealness. Phantom Warrior AC accounts for its spectral armor and shield and his incorporeal movements. Yeah, fuck it. We'll just use these things instead. I won't even use the Berserker Spirit stat block. We've found the creatures. I don't know why. This is gonna be a Roll20 bug. It's supposed to be tied with the, like, the bar is not showing up, the token is not working at all. How lame is that? So let's open you up. Let's open you up and see what we get. So you should be an NPC AC, and you should have an average hit points of 45. And then let's make sure you are using that selected token. So now if we drag it across, we've got a working token. All right. I do really like the look of the Skeletal Knight, though. It looks awesome. In fact, we can fucking use that for our Sword Wraith Commander token. Why the fuck not? That could work. That could work, ACT. This is always what folks like to do the most, I think, is do monster planning. Oh shit, I deleted the eye too. No! We'll never know. Can I undo it? Undo. Undo. No. I can never. Wait, no, never mind. That's right. I copied the whole thing. I can do it here. Panicking for a second. There we go. Copy. What? Paste. Yes, it will. Straight up panicking. Always keep a backup copy. Do not have to be locked. I don't care if they move. Okay. So, these are on the token layer. Yes. So going in here and fucking around with the shrine Because a Shrine to Tempest triggers a bunch of warriors. The original one had 5 Berserker Spirits, I think. Yeah, 5 Berserker Spirits with resistance to all damage. Which these guys don't quite... Let me get rid of some of these. Don't need you, don't need you. I don't think these guys have resistance to all damage, but they do have resistance to common damage and immunities to other damage, which is pretty good. And then a bunch of condition immunities because they're fucking ghosts. I still might put 5 here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Fortunately, I don't know where the party's going to be, so these things will just have to manifest, like, all around the room. We can roll hit points for everybody. Like so. Wow, I rolled kind of bad except for one dude. 3 of them have below average hit points. One of them is basically average, the other one's way above average. Not my best monster roll. Now, what's in this room? If I'm not putting the sword here. 5 Berserker Spirits spawn once the party fucks with this room. Because originally it's the sword. Atop the shrine is a giant slayer great sword called Iron Hand's Reckoning. If you take the sword from the shrine, you hear a deafening horn blast and actually have to succeed on a DC 20. I don't know why all the things are DC 20s in here. It's crazy. On a failed save, character takes 40-10 thunder damage, is deafened for 1 minute. I could put a Horn of Blasting there, I guess. I don't want to go too crazy with the magic items necessarily. Spectral Guardian from Tome. Let's see. Spectral is a word I also didn't look up. There's a lot of descriptive words for these, aren't there? Ooh, yeah, that's looking good. Spectral Guardian from the original Tome of Beasts. Pretty good. I'll still probably use the stat block for the Sword Wraith Commander. I don't have any problem with that stat block. And CR8 is pretty strong. Although he's a pretty basic warrior. Bonus action Martial Fury. He has an extra necrotic damage on hit and rolls. Attack rolls against it have advantage. Ooh. I don't like that. And he can summon a bunch of Sword Wraith warriors. Probably reflavor his longsword as an axe. However, but yeah, we can use... maybe the Spectral Guardian might be a better looking stat block, though. Let's see what the token looks like. Spectral Cloud from Big B. You know, I have not looked at Big B's hardly at all. Yeah, that was pretty good. Oh, it's right there. Spectral Cloud. Oh, wow. A cloud giant. That's cool. CR13. That's a fucking cool idea for a boss monster, though. It's an undead cloud giant with fucking, like, wind powers. Damn, that's cool. I love that they put a little dude running away so you can get, like, the size discrepancy. Yeah. The picture is very cool. I guess you'd have to scale it down because it would literally be a huge token. It looks a little more wizardy, though. I'm hoping to get a little more warrior. Let's see. Which do we like better? The Skeletal Knight is this one from Dragonlance, or we've got the Spectral Guardian from Tomb of Beasts is this one. It's really getting pretty nitpicky at this point, I think. Either way, I won't be using the stat block. I'll still probably use the stat block of the Sword Wraith Commander, but that way I can use this kind of blue guy token as the warriors that appear around him. I'll have those be summoned, which I realize... You know, I may have to switch this final room if I'm going to plan on summoning a dude plus a bunch of other dudes. This probably needs to be a bigger fucking chamber then. Not just a tiny-ass room. This needs to be like a boss room. So we actually aren't done with the map making part then, damn it. And I can always extend the map down. Because that's not going to fuck with me too much. Let's make it like... Yeah, so we could just do a bigger room here. Shoot, where was that called? It was called what? Quick Encounters. Fuck, I forget. It's been a while. Quick Encounters. I don't remember. Cave. Or it was probably Save versus Cave, actually. It wasn't Quick Encounters. It was this one. Save versus Cave. Cave Rifts, Mud Halls, World Wide Webs, Warren's Underworks, Swamp Cave, Storm Temple, Ruins, Ruined Rooms, I think was the one I was using for up here. If I can do another, maybe I do another transition from cave. What does this look like underneath? So I do need it to be approximately that width. But I could throw a little boss room in here. Boy, these are all just pre-done. These are too big, though. Too big. 7x5. What does that look like? How big is 7x5? That's not that big. The problem is it has this weird, like... I picture the whole room being 7x5, but actually it's a lot smaller than that. Because it has, like, this outer edge to it. Can't really... I guess I could tuck that underneath. Is this one tucked? No, it just goes on top. I need to get out of ruins in. I don't think this is gonna work. Necropolis? But it still has to be a connector thing. Jesus. Okay, okay, wait a minute. We've got cave to necropolis. So we just have to resize that, right? Resize it down. It's like, meh. And then you could open it up to whatever size room I want. We don't need hallways, dude. We just need rooms. Rooms. Not giant complexes. Look at that. We got different sarcophagi options. Okay, these are just giant complexes, though. I don't need the whole complex. It's great, though, man. You can just go through... One of these days, to just do a series of, like... Let's make a random dungeon out of all this amazing art. Very cool. That's how I get inspired. I need the visualization to be inspired. Okay, so these don't actually let me just plop one fucking room down, though. That's kind of a problem. Okay. Okay. Flooded caverns. Cave crypts. I know the construction one is... some potential. Okay. Can I get one that's a real... Damn, these are cool rooms, though. That'd be good if it was just one sarcophagus. All these have like a ton of... These if you just want to use the whole thing. Alright, why do they have come in pairs? Come on now. Sarcophagus, stairs, tunnels, junctions. I need big ass rooms, no more tunnels. We're done with tunnels. Joiner, straight. Fortunately, I just realized if I'm not using that, I need to use a different tile set then. Is Catacombs one of them? Okay, there's the cave. Why can I not find just a regular fucking room? What is it about these that... I want like a normal square room that doesn't actually have... Oh, I just passed one that looked like it had... Yeah, like these, but without some at the end. I guess I could just make the end thing an alcove. Okay, so let's take this. Let's delete this. Let's use this. I'm sure these are always like horrendous to listen to on the podcast too. It's like, I don't know what you're talking about, Eric. I can't see you. The dirt is a slightly different consistency, but that's okay. This thing is going to be a Frankenstein's nightmare of map art. Anyway. Then we take this guy. We're going to have to extend our map even further. And we're going to have to... Shoot, a wish. Because it's already sized perfectly. I got to sneeze. Excuse me, my goodness. Is there one that's a small to large? Aha. Small to large transition. We're going to go even deeper. We can make that happen. So awkward, but now we can do it like that. Jesus. Going a little further south than I was anticipating. You know, make that the wall. Thank you. These allergies are rough. I don't know why I'm experiencing allergies. There's nothing still alive out there that's not getting baked in the heat. I guess that's fine right there. So this guy's gonna have to be a bit smaller. It's the problem is I've customly sized some of these. Customly? Close enough, I say. That's still one token fits in there, I assume. Yeah. As long as the tokens fall in the right spots, I think we're okay. Alright, and then we'll put the... It's a much bigger boss battle chamber down there, I think. So if we wanted to go a little bit further, there we go. We could put our sarcophagi, or girl, probably sarcophagi, right there. So let's put you on the map layer. Let's put you on the map layer. Put you on the map layer. You're already on the map layer. Let's bring you to the front. Slap you right there. And then, now you guys can't see it. I can't actually scroll far enough down. But it's there, trust me. That's where it's been placed. Okay, so now we can have a proper, like, final boss fight down here. Again, this map's going to look so shitty on when you're seeing it from my point of view, but from the player's point of view, once I get the dynamic lighting in place, it's going to be a hell of a lot better. Maybe we'll copy the column thing we got going on here. Shift, 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 copy, paste. Make it look a little more detailed. Fucking Bob Ross of Roll20 now. Boom. Tile set doesn't quite match, but fuck it. So it's gonna have to work. There's no, I don't think there's a small cave joiner, unfortunately. All the cave ones are massive, so I have to... That one actually does fit a little bit better. That one has less of... Let's actually use that one. It's gonna work better. Less of that tile set to look weird. So yeah, it would actually be like that size. Which I could almost... If I tuck this under... Okay, so let's put... Oh, I'm already on the map layer. Ooh, that's dangerous. Can I move you to the front? Yeah, I think that's gonna fucking work. Okay. I care too much. I didn't expect to still do map stuff. All right, so which token we like better? We liked the Skeletal Knight or the Spectral guy? I feel like this guy looks more like a demon. Although he does look more ghostly. We could blue it. We could allow them to blue themselves. Demnix, if you think that would help. I could literally tint the token. All that does always look a little weird. Yeah, that got light blue. Yeah, because the whole thing chooses a little bit. I mean, look at the lighting. I'm gonna have to fix all this lighting. I haven't done any of the lighting down here, and this room's gonna have to get fixed as well. All right, so we've got these guys. We still have to put something in I2 that's actually going to activate this trap and make it so... The map layer. The players want to interact with it, so this is a case where maybe there's something that the statue's holding or some magic item in front of the statue, but I don't want to put the sword there. I have to see what kind of magic items. Anything that Tempest would be associated with would be Warfare, which is just fucking everything. every D&D item could be almost. I guess it wouldn't be like a drift globe or something, but something in there. Or maybe just you get some kind of buff. But I feel like there needs to be something tangible that the players interact with that then sets off this kind of trap. And this rubble over here is supposed to be a hole into the river, and that's currently where the Storm Maiden is marching through with her forces, and she actually ends up getting attacked by a cloaker. And depending on the timing of how the players interact with these events is depending on what they witness and how that goes down. And I'm pretty flexible. I gotta destroy that one, I guess. In terms of if the party wants to defeat the Storm Maiden here in the water, or if they want to wait longer, they want to try to ambush, they want to do whatever else. But also, if the party makes a lot of noise, then the Storm Maiden should also have a chance at figuring out that the party is here. Passive perception would be like an 11, so really not great. Her stat block isn't super impressive, but all the pirate captains are kind of just decent. She's probably one of the weaker ones just because she doesn't have spell casting. She does have a Javelin of Lightning, which I don't believe is actually put into her stat block, and then an arrow, shield catching arrow, so just a bunch of magic items. Well, I don't want to put the sword there because I've got, I'm moving the sword, so I guess I can show you the sword I've got. Originally, it's the commander, the Iron Hands guy's sword. So this is what I've settled on. Iron Hands Reckoning. In the adventure is just a giant Slayer greatsword. I am reflavoring that as a great axe, but I like the idea of making it an oversized weapon. So maybe he was like a half giant or something. Belonged to Thulgar Ironhand, former king of Omen's Isle. And a creature of medium size has disadvantage on attack rolls made with this weapon, and smaller creatures cannot wield it at all. A large-sized creature can wield it with both hands like a normal great axe. So the idea here is it's oversized. It does twice as much damage as a normal great axe. So it does 2d12 instead of 1d12, which is humongous. However, you have to be humongous in order to actually properly wield it without disadvantage. Now, guess who can embiggen themselves quite frequently is Gottwald. So I thought that'd be kind of a cool thing to grab. A cool piece of treasure, even though he's already got a magic item that he uses quite a bit with the Anchor Axe, but I do like the idea of having a weapon that specifically basically comes out when he embiggens. And I also changed it to be a great axe versus a great sword. And it still has the Giant Slayer part of it, which is when you hit a giant with it, the giant takes an extra 2d6 damage and must succeed a DC 15 strength saving throw or fall prone. And giant refers to any creature that has the giant classification, which includes, I think, trolls, ogres are maybe considered giant. No, so not just literal giants. So that's the idea for that weapon. Now, that weapon is originally here in I2, but it's such a, main thing of coming here that I thought this needs to be down with the, the weapon should be buried with the dude, I thought. So I need to move, something else needs to be in the Shrine of Tempest. I haven't quite narrowed down what I want to put there yet. Because these guys, the actual pirates, which, I need to switch out and figure out which... I may use the some of the Berserkers for her people right now. She's got just some spies. But we could also add just the normal Berserkers. I figure she's got more of kind of like Viking people with her. Do I have normal Berserker stat block in here? Which I don't know what the best... no, I don't. Stat block to use besides Berserker is for kind of like Viking Warrior. Gladiator, maybe, but that's a lot stronger of a stat block, if I recall. There's also different flavors of Berserker. You can Berserk anybody, it looks like. Isn't Gladiator like CR 4 or 5? Yeah, CR 5 with 112 hit points. A little stronger. I was looking for. I just need minions. Once again, the freaking tokens are not working out though. Job 67, I think. PCAC. So we could just do it like she's got like 2 Berserkers and 3 spies as her infiltration team. Probably give her a lot more hit points too. What is her maximum? 15d8 plus 45. What is the math on that? 15 times 8 Plus 45 is 165 hit points. So I think we can comfortably give her 150. As a proper, that's what we gave Scummer. I believe Scummer at 150. He only took like 20 damage before he fucked off. Your love of bards, man. Having a spellcaster would not be a bad idea though with her. Would definitely make the fight more interesting if we can find like a mid-level spellcaster. Which shoot, what's the spellcaster the party has on their boat? What's it called? Deckhand? Something? Spell deck wizard. The fuck am I trying to say? Pirate deck wizard. That's the one. It's only a CR1 though, damn. Witch Bolt, Gust of Wind, and Melf's Acid Arrow. Much the only combat spells I got. Misty Step defensively. I need like a slightly stronger deck wizard. I think. Not too much stronger. I could always just swap out some spells, I guess, and up their hit points. AC's fine, 15 with mage armor. Pirate deck wizard is a terrible monster name. Hey, I did remember it though. It's descriptive. So what I could do is just say you've got a 15 AC, you've got 45 hit points. You've already got mage armor on, and then I could just swap. Third level spells is probably fine. Maybe give them a go-to cantrip. Ray of Frost would probably be fine. Make sure it does at least 2d8 damage. Maybe shoot Ray of Frost twice, or they can cast some of their spells. Melf's is good. Some kind of AoE spell would be ideal. There we go. That's a pretty good party right there. Did I already add the cloaker that they run into? So I'm really gonna have to just see, depending on what the party does and how they interact with things, on how to do this cloaker. I'd love the party to fight a cloaker themselves, but as it's written, it's these guys. All right, why did you... I deleted that one already. It's the pirate crew that runs into the cloaker. Unfortunately, gotta delete the token first, then add the damn creature. And that should be in there. Token should be larger, shouldn't it be? Yeah. These tokens are not defaulting correctly. So Cloaker attacks them up there as these guys make their way through. Should be a pretty interesting dungeon, I think. Probably... Actually, I'm liking this token less and less that I look at it. It looks like a horror movie guy who just put on a mask. Mask is too distracting. Might go with this one. And then these will be the sword guys. So I'm still gonna finish dynamic lighting. And then we gotta figure out what actually is gonna go in I2 to tempt the players to jacking with the shrine. I mean, having just the open rubble and stuff will be here, and there'll be light coming from down here because these guys will have to be using a torch. So yeah, they'll be emitting light, so that'll be an interesting distraction for the party to see as well when they get over here. So it may just be a triggered trap thing, but that's already what's going on in I3. So, and then the way down here is pretty clear. There's a very fast moving river though. It's almost comically fast, but difficult terrain. People are knocked prone, they get carried down the river. And and then it's just the boss fight down here. But we've got the whole Fomorian thing at the entrance. So I'm thinking this area will probably take us 2 sessions in the end, because there's potential for a couple different fights and some role-playing situations, just exploring the dungeon with some traps. So I expect this whole area will take maximum, hopefully, 2 full sessions, and then it'll probably at least take us over a session. It'll be interesting to see how far we actually get on Friday's session, and then we can start prepping the Narino location as well on top of that. But that is going to do it for this Thursday edition of Crafting the Deep. If you enjoy the content, as always, please check out patreon.com/RogueWatson. Shoutouts to platinum patrons Joe, Will, Thomas, Stan, Brandon, Zenicider, Eclectic, Roleplay Roll, Christopher, Corey, Big Nut, John F, John L, Tyler, Nathan, Camp Crystal, Counselor, Andrew, Del, The Reldron, Stephanie, Patrick, Jason, Ismail, Amat, Lumpy Spud, Sharni, Warden, Harold, Sam, Eudaimonia, LLC, Jamie, Reese, Tom, and Lucius. And gold patrons RPG Papercrafts, Pre-Boy, and Yuma, Dead Lizard Lounge, Sam, Jerome, Nathan, Fasica, Tortoise, Scott, Rufus, Karen, Jerry, Glenn, Marcus, and Mark. Thank you all very much for support. I'll see you for D&D tomorrow.